We fixin' to make this town real smoking.
Oh man, I bet you this guy's taking Wang's place. That looks just like Wang. I think Wang's done for. You guys think Wang's done for?
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Wang. The top comment on the last video says, please cover Wang's story. I hope this comment gets upvotes. Now, we're getting pretty close to Tekken 8. I feel like Tekken 8 is coming this year, so I want to try to cover as many characters as possible, characters who are controversial, likely, possibility. Like, I just want to learn as much about the story as possible going into Tekken 8 so I can have a better understanding, because once we get to Tekken 8, I want to talk about the stories and people's endings in that game. I want to talk about the overall story, do a review of that. I want to do a lot of things about Tekken 8, but in preparation, I need to learn as much as I can now. So first off, before you start talking about story, before you start talking about anything, you have to mention Leroy Smith. Now, Leroy Smith is by no way a replacement of Wang.
I'm looking for my favorite Wang moves now. He doesn't seem to have them. Oh well.
Yes, he has some similarities in crouching or in key charging, or he may have like a similar parry, but other than that, they're completely different characters. The only other thing they have in common is they're both old men. Literally everything else is different. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it's a good thing, because most of the people watching this video, would you guys pick Leroy Smith or Wang to be in Tekken 8? Just knowing how the community works, I would assume everyone would say Wang, except for the people who like Leroy and who like overpowered DLC. They would say Leroy Smith. Getting that out the way, the comparisons with Leroy Smith and Wang, and you know, the design decisions there.
Damn, Wang's dead. Look at his foot. I mean, it's cool, I understand. I'm not gonna be a little bitch ass Christie player about it.
Now I want to get into the story, because I know there's a few characters in the Tekken series that are controversial topics. Jun Kazama, Baek-doo-san, Wang, Bruce is another. There's a few characters where when you start, Christine is another. You start talking about these characters and it's a touchy subject, because some you don't know if they're alive or if they're dead. You don't know where they're at. Why aren't they in the game? So let's get to the story. Tekken 1, it starts off, Jinrei is an old man with whom bravery still runs strong. Jinrei is a kind-hearted individual who sympathizes with his fellow countrymen. He was also a very close friend to Kazuya's deceased grandfather, Jinpachi Mishima. After Jinpachi's death, Jinrei fell under Heihachi's influence, but truth be told, he doesn't feel comfortable with Heihachi's conduct. So this is one thing that I knew about Wang. I don't know why they're calling him Jinrei. I'm just going to say Wang. But the thing about Wang, I knew he had some sort of relation, like friendship with Jinpachi. I don't know if he started working with Heihachi, but he got closer to Heihachi once Jinpachi died. I did not know that. He faces martial law in the King of Iron Fist tournament, and fight ends in a draw. I have to say here, at first it was cool. You have Harang and Jin, their battle ends in a draw. You have Paul and you have Kazuya, their battle ends in a draw. Now it's kind of getting to the point where I want to see a winner. I don't want to see any more draws. It's getting a little bit repetitive. That's all of these characters, when they fight, it ends in, especially in a tournament. This is the King of the Iron Fist tournament. Are both of them eliminated? Do they both move on? How does it end in a draw? Tekken 2 says, wrapped up in the wishes of Jinpachi, in order to bring about peace, the Mishima clan must be destroyed. Jinrei decided to join the tournament, but he seeks to transfer the burden of taking Kazuya out to someone else capable of doing so. But if there is no other, he's prepared to do what must be done. In version 2 of Tekken 2, the part that I want to put emphasis on says, Wang has seen the way Kazuya and Heihachi abused and corrupted the Mishima Zaibatsu. Wang later becomes Li Xiaolan's instructor and convinces him to help bring honor back to the empire. First off, I don't know how evil Jinpachi is or was. I know he was possessed by some sort of demon. We never really got an answer to what that demon was, but him in his prime, in control of the Mishima Zaibatsu. Heihachi kind of walks the line of being pure evil and sometimes good. Like, he's not completely destroying the world wars like his sons, but at times he do make questionable decisions. For example, in Tekken 7, he shot a satellite and wiped out a whole building. It was a skyscraper, knocked out the whole skyscraper just because he thought he had the opportunity to take out Kazuya and Akuma at the same time. Now, granted, that is a big opportunity, both of those people in the same place, so I do get that, you want to take advantage of that, but that kind of just shows how careless he is when it comes to the life of others, right? And also, it's really cool that Wang becomes Lei Xiaolan's instructor. I never knew that, and you kind of wonder now. Well, I kind of wonder now. I hope they touch on it in the next section. But is he sort of preparing him to, once all this is said and done, take the throne? That's the thing. All eyes is on Jin and Kazuya, but you still have Lars and Lee, who very easily can take the throne too. If things get too out of control and both Jin and Kazuya die, you still have Lars and Lee there who will happily take the throne. In Tekken 5, 30 years later, Wang was living in isolation when an invitation to King of the Iron Fist Tournament 5 was delivered, along with a message: "I need your help, old friend. Seek me out, Wang Jinrei." Believing his friend to be dead, Wang Jinrei was quite surprised by the message and decided to enter the tournament to look for Jinpachi. Now, I really don't have too much to say there. Let's move on to Tekken 6. And this is where the controversy shows up, full force, I would say. Wang, who heard of the Mishima family's cursed blood from his close friend Jinpachi, tried to stop those of the Mishima bloodline, but was defeated in the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 by Jin Kazama.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
Jin would continue on to take Jinpachi's life and claim control of the Mishima Financial Group. Under his reign, the MFG began expanding its military might. Once the MFG declared war, conflict broke out around the world, enveloping the world in the chaos. Wang strongly regretted his failure to stop the MFG before it went out of control. Wang decided to participate in the King Iron Fist Tournament 6, intent on destroying the Mishima bloodline once and for all. So there we kind of get a scale of how strong this character is. He's strong enough to fight Law to a draw, but he's not strong enough to defeat Jin. That is a big difference in power scaling. And also, this doesn't really give us too much of an insight into what exactly his goal is, right? Because he's entering in these tournaments, and yes, he wants to help the Mishima Zaibatsu, but it doesn't really specify what it is he actually is going to do. Let's say if he does reach Jinpachi in the last battle, if he does defeat Jin. In the scenario campaign, Wang is seen warning Lars Alexander after their fight about Alyssa Boskanovich true alliance, Jin's pure-mindedness, and how the Mishima Zaibatsu still has enough manpower to take on the entire world. Wang also tells them to ask Heihachi about the tablet he found in Central America that could provide useful. After Lars' departure, Zafina appears from the shadow. They then talk about how they believe Lars will be the one to stop Azel from destroying the world, something which became only half true. Now, to address his ending where he is defeated by Azel. As you can see here, he is talking to Zafina, and they are both saying how Lars is the one who will fight him. Lars is the one who will be able to defeat him. And the reason why that is half true is because Lars and Raven they did defeat Azel, but truly only someone with the devil gene within inside them can truly defeat Azel. So Raven and Lars teamed up, they knocked him out, but he got back up because they don't have the devil gene. And then Jin swooped around and finished him, we thought once and for all, but Zafina later swooped around and sucked up the remains into her hand. So the ending there where you have Lars dying and he's like, oh, here I come, Japachi, I see the light, whatever he says, that is not canon. It says it here that he probably never even seen Azel, let alone fight him before Lars gets there to fight him. The only way I can see him being dead if him and Zafina went in after Jin, is then Wang sacrificed himself so that Zafina can trap him in her hand. Now, if that was the story, if they decided to do that, he would still be in Tekken 8 because he would need to be in Tekken 8 to explain that. But also, that's only if they want to go that deep into the story. I don't think they'll go that deep into the story. Who knows, if Wang shows up in DLC or on the base roster, they may tack that bit on. But I think he's alive and well, and I think he's definitely going to show up. It's just a matter of Leroy Smith. You have many other different characters, fighting styles. You have popularity, you have statistics. They have a lot of things to calculate. And to me, his story is left open-ended. He's literally just sitting in a room talking with Zafina like, yep, Lars is going to do it. He's going to kill the villain, the bad guy. In no way does that mean that he ended up dying or anything. Like, they can pull a Kurimitsu and be like, oh, yep, Wang got sick. He has a flu. He's going to die, but considering how popular this character is and considering how old he is already, I don't see them killing him off for no reason, right? Because that's the thing. There's no reason to kill him off unless you're doing it in some spectacular fashion. The same way I was talking about Lars, a lot of people say he should die. If you're gonna do it, it should be in some grand spectacle. He should be sacrificing himself, and it should be, we should be crying because the story is so good. But I don't see that happening. If they put him in there, which they could, that would be a blessing to the community. But this was just his story. I had a good time reading through this and breaking it all down. Very interesting going through all of these characters, lore and backgrounds, and seeing where they leave off and trying to speculate as to where they can pick up, where the story picks up. But that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. Comment which character you want me to cover next. I'm working on a lot of videos right now, so I will get to it eventually. I do appreciate all the support and comments and likes and everything. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, see you next time. Once again, like and subscribe. Bye bye.